Hi guys, welcome back. Wow, it's another bloodbath again. Because yesterday we said that if this support does not hold, then it would just go straight south. And it did today. In the morning, even though the future was down, but once the market opened, even though Nasdaq went down quickly, it also bounced back quickly. So it gave the hope on the daily chart to be staying above the support. It was showing green for a while. So I guess a lot of people had the false hope there. So it was due to the expectation of the speech from the Powell to expect that he would give out positive news that was exactly needed for the market to rebound back up there. But it didn't happen. Basically, it did not answer to the expectation of investors and not addressing the yield problem. As a response, investors just created this huge sellout straight to test lower bottom fast. I think it had created a lot of panic there in the afternoon. So yes, the Nasdaq officially broke the support around 13,000 and for now got supported by this line around 12,700. If we look at the weekly chart, 12,700 was on this long time uptrend of 20 moving average. That it hasn't gone lower than that. Ever since that it hasn't gone lower since the V-shaped recovery from the crash last year. And as you see, every time it touched this line, it got supported and bounced back up. So if it breaks this support, I think it's basically confirmed that this correction is really going to take a while and it might go back down lower. Because after it broke the support here this morning, it means it has become the resistance. So if there is any rebound that cannot pass this line, it might continue reaching lower or consolidate within the lower range. So it might take some time. S&P 500 at least got supported from this uptrend. So let's see if this can support this from dropping lower. Otherwise, it will also come back to the next range like the Nasdaq. Even Dow Jones were affected today and had quite a drop as well with volume. At least it's also supported from this long-term uptrend, and the moment it touched there today, it got bounced back up quite quickly. Otherwise, it can come back down to this support just like Nasdaq and S&P 500, but at least right now it has broke through the top. And in a short run, it's very difficult to get back up, but it would use some time to consolidate first. Now let's look at our stocks. Now the whole market is driving down all the stocks with no survivors. So you really don't need to feel bad for your own stocks because it's the same issue for everybody. Now before we look at Baby Neo, we need to look at Tesla because it is leading the whole new EV play sector. Tesla had been dropping a lot since the high of 900, and for a giant company to drop like 30-something%, that's unusual. We see the news that says Ford might be taking over the market share for Tesla. I don't think this news caused all the recent drop, but it's just adding on the pain that's already happened for the new EV sector recently. About a week or two ago, in one of my videos, I did mention that the traditional car company would fight back. And right now it's the time. Because all the new EV companies had a huge jump in 2020. So sectors would rotate and it would take time for the new EV sector to cool off. Meanwhile, the traditional car company has been beaten down a lot and it's a matter of time for them to fight back. So right now, Tesla has no signs of stopping to drop yet. Even though the price has gone to an attractive level, it has touched and got supported by the 120 days moving average. So if you want to buy the dip, you might want to hold on and wait for a buy-in signal because so far it really hasn't shown any unless you're just nibbling, spending a little here and there to average out. And it's the same thing with NIO right now because even the giant of Tesla, the leader of EV, is already dropping like this. Then how can NIO survive? So that's why it has been dropping quite a lot from the top, making a lot of people anxious. Right now it's still supported in the $38. It had such a big run up in 2020, so it does make sense for the sector to cool off. But still, I don't think it would be the end here and it would just stop growing from now on and crash like the dot-com bubble, but rather just a cool off from the sector that has been growing quite well. Now, a lot of people were concerned about the chip shortage and think that this crash was caused by the issue of chip shortage. Maybe it does cause that partially, but we need to know that the big increase last year was because the market was pricing in the growth for years, right? And if investors can invest in NIO because they look forward to the future growth for the upcoming years to come, then why would they not able to tolerate the chip shortage that's only gonna affect it for 1 to 2 quarters? Doesn't make much sense, right? So that's why I'm not too worried about the chip shortage right now, because I do think it's a temporary hit. But I just think it's more of a sector rotation for the EV sector that has been quite heated before to cool off. It is somewhat expected. The EV sector and the specs sector has been quite heated for quite a while now. So it makes sense for it to cool off before it run again. And I bought in NIO when it was $3 and average up from 10 to 16 and then more at the 40s area. And then I also bought more at the top, but overall my average cost is still considered quite low, so I'm still making profit. It's tough to see the profit to keep reducing. It's not easy to take, but when I invested in NIO, I did not think I would take profit in a few months. So I did plan to hold it for years because I see the potential of the company being more exponential later in the upcoming years with much bigger market penetration in China and also the big plan of the international expansion. And if I wasn't planning to cash out anyways, I can just forget about the short-term price action. Especially right now, it has reached the support. So even though I said I would trim out my long-term position once Nasdaq broke the support, I wouldn't trim out the stock when it hit the support level. Now, if you are at loss right now and it's too hard for you to take and you cannot sleep on it, you can either not look at it or you can just set a stop loss so you can put your mind more at ease. Recently, we saw the news from the bank to reinforce the target price of NIO to be $70 and $85 because they all have high expectation on NIO to perform well this year. That just means a lot of institutions did not sell out. They're still in it. And I'm not quite worried about NIO, just like we don't need to worry too much about Tesla. NIO will for sure be one of the key players as a Chinese EV brand in the future, inside and outside of the Chinese market. I am quite confident about this, so that's why I'm not worried about NIO's price being beaten down. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to right away get in to buy the dip because it's the same as Tesla. It has no sign of it to stop dropping. So I will wait until the dust settles and look for a safer entrance, even though it's a higher price at that time, okay? EH has dropped another 15% today and continue dropping 6% after market. That looks quite scary, but it's almost near the support here at $33. I have bought more EH today at 38 and then again at 35. Not a lot, but this drop was really quite unexpected because it has really dropped to a point where EH is quite undervalued and doesn't make much sense anymore. So I can still continue averaging down, but I will add on it one more time when it reaches 33, maybe tomorrow. And then I'll sit tight and see what happens because right now the market is still dragging all the sectors down. At least LKCO was holding surprisingly well today because in the morning everything was driven down quite fast, quite sharp. So it created the lowest point. And in the afternoon with the whole roller coaster, a lot of the stocks had broken to the lower low. So the ones that did not make lower lows, I would already consider it quite strong already. And LKCO is one of them. You can see the buying the dip action around 1.1. And it was the same thing for ZEPP. It created a lowest point of 13.68 this morning, bounced back up quickly and did not break new lows in the afternoon, even though it was very chaotic and a lot of fear going on. I bought more ZEPP this morning at 13.8. It bounced back quite quickly. because I said yesterday the next buy-in range is 13. So at this point, if we don't see the low in the morning, we can already consider this stock being the stronger ones. Luckin Coffee was not as lucky. On the other hand, I just said it was not affected much by the correction the whole time. There it showed me not really today. At first it was not affected in the morning, even though every stock was selling off. But then in the afternoon with the whole roller coaster, it dropped straight to 5.7, but luckily rebound quite quickly as well to 6. Looking like it has gone weaker and trying to break the support of 6.3. But as long as it's still staying above $5, it's still in consolidation. BNGO dropped a lot to 6.9. That was near 20% of dropping and continued dropping 2% after hour to 6.7. It was crashing basically because the whole ARK Invest related stocks and sectors were hit the most in this. Right now it has reached the previous high around 7, and if this support doesn't hold, it would reach the next support of 5 and then around 3. So you can decide whether you want to set a stop loss to take profit if you still have profit. For me, my cost was around 1 point something, so I'm still making profit even after such a big crash. But if the market continue being like this, I would consider trimming it at a rebound or setting a stop loss, because we don't know how long this sector rotation would last and how long ARK Invest would be hit. So there's nothing wrong with playing it safe and exit to observe first. YSG was already the least of the devil, that it only dropped 3% today, but after hour continued dropping 4%. It has broke the support today and would become the resistance level. So it looks like it would likely consolidate at the bottom first. JKS has broke through multiple supports already. Now the last one is really this 200-day moving average of $37. Now I am still in JKS and I am losing right now, not just a little bit, but I'll give it another chance, for the 200-day moving average. Hopefully by that time the market can be more stabilized and start to make sense again. Mesa had reversal of the uptrend as of today, so I sold my Mesa share in the morning already, and it continued dropping in the after hours. It's because the recovery sectors, the airline, the cruise line, had been rising for a while already, so show signs that the institutions might need to sell some first to allocate the capital somewhere else. Doesn't mean it will stop growing, but just might mean that it needs to take a rest first. But I think for us that bought in at $6, 100% plus profit in such a short time is not bad already. So, and in this kind of market, to take profit, it's a gift. Basically. So at least that, right? But overall right now, I don't think we need to be panicking over our stocks, because I have been saying over and over again, we need to treat the correction as an opportunity to shape out our portfolio in a way that we focus on the stocks and the companies that we are confident with the most out of all, right? So if right now all of our stocks in our portfolio are what we believe in strongly in 5 to 10 years, and we believe that their better future has yet to come, then we don't need to panic for the market, even though the market is driving everything down. But because we believe in the company we're holding, then at least it should put us more at ease. If it doesn't, then you can reevaluate the companies you own and see whether you have confidence with it. So as long as we have strong belief with our investment choice in our portfolio right now, then we really don't need to keep looking and staring at our account. So just forget about this right now and relax. As long as you have shaped out your portfolio, you need to look at your account less now. I know it's hard to see the profit running away, but no one can time the market, and trying to do so is usually wrong most of the time. So don't beat yourself and just think about something else, okay? Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment, and I will see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.